When I first moved into the quiet suburban neighborhood in Ohio, I didn't think much about making new friends. My job as a graphic designer kept me busy, and between long hours in front of my computer and trying to balance some kind of personal life, I figured casual greetings with neighbors would be enough. But life has a way of surprising us, especially when we're least expecting it. That's how I met Ryan. Ryan lived 2 houses down. The first time I noticed him, he was mowing his lawn while wearing headphones, nodding his head to whatever music was playing. He looked up, caught me watching, and waved. I smiled back politely, the way you do when you don't want to seem unfriendly. Later that evening, he stopped by with a plate of cookies, introducing himself. "I thought I'd welcome you to the neighborhood properly," he said with an easy smile. That simple gesture caught me off guard. Nobody had ever brought me cookies just because I moved in. He seemed kind, approachable, the type of person who could talk to anyone and make them feel at ease. I thanked him, we chatted for a bit, and that was that. Or so I thought. Over the next few weeks, I saw more of Ryan. Sometimes he would stop to say hello if I was outside watering the plants. Other times he would bring his dog, Max, over to play in my yard for a few minutes. He was funny, quick with jokes, and always seemed genuinely interested in how my day was going. I thought he was just being friendly, maybe trying to be a good neighbor. I appreciated it, but I didn't think much deeper. One Saturday morning, he knocked on my door holding a toolbox. "Hey, I noticed your porch light flickering the other night. Want me to fix it? I'm pretty handy with this stuff." I hesitated. Letting someone mess with my house felt a little too personal, but his offer sounded sincere, and honestly, I had no idea how to fix it myself. "Sure," I said. "Thanks, Ryan." He worked quickly, chatting the whole time. I learned that he worked in IT, loved hiking on weekends, and had grown up not too far from where we lived. By the time he finished, the porch light worked perfectly. "There," he said, smiling. "Now you don't have to stumble around in the dark anymore." I laughed and thanked him again. As he left, I caught myself thinking that maybe I was lucky to have a neighbor like him. Still, I reminded myself that friendliness didn't mean anything more. But things started to change subtly. He began stopping by more often. Sometimes he'd bring over coffee in the mornings, saying he bought an extra one. Other times he'd text me about a new show he thought I should watch, or ask if I wanted to join him and Max for a walk. At first, it felt harmless. I told myself he was just a social guy who liked company. One evening, though, things took a turn. It was late summer, and we were sitting on my porch after dinner, sharing a bottle of iced tea. The crickets chirped in the background, and Max lay curled up at our feet. Ryan looked at me thoughtfully and said, "You know, I really enjoy spending time with you. It feels different than with other people." I wasn't sure how to respond. My heart raced a little. "I enjoy it too," I admitted cautiously. His smile widened, and for a moment, it felt like something unspoken lingered between us. I quickly pushed the thought aside. He was probably just being friendly, right? I didn't want to misread things. But soon after, his gestures grew more personal. He brought me flowers one afternoon, saying he saw them at the market and thought of me. Another time, he fixed my broken fence without asking, surprising me when I came home from work. Each time, I tried to tell myself it was just kindness, nothing more. Still, a part of me wondered. The complication came when other neighbors started noticing. At a block party, someone joked, "Looks like Ryan's got himself a new best friend." People laughed, but I felt my cheeks flush. I wasn't sure how to explain the situation. Ryan didn't deny it, he just grinned. That night, I lay awake thinking, was I leading him on by accepting his help and company? Or was he crossing boundaries I hadn't realized? I didn't have answers, but I knew things were no longer simple. A week later, everything came to a head. I had a stressful day at work, and when I came home, Ryan was waiting on my porch with dinner he'd cooked. "Thought you might not feel like cooking," he said. I sighed. "Ryan, this is really sweet, but we need to talk." His face grew serious. "Okay, what's on your mind?" Taking a deep breath, I said, "I appreciate everything you've done, but I'm not sure what this is. Are we just neighbors? Friends? Or are you trying to make it something more?" He hesitated, then admitted softly, "I like you, more than just as a neighbor." Hearing those words made my chest tighten. Part of me felt flattered, even drawn to him. But another part of me feared where this was going. I hadn't expected this. I thought he was just being friendly. From that moment, things got complicated. Over the next few weeks, I wrestled with my feelings. On one hand, Ryan was thoughtful, funny, and genuinely cared. On the other, I wasn't sure if I wanted to blur the line between friendship and something deeper. We had long conversations, some lighthearted, some emotional. There were moments when it felt like we were already something more, like when he brushed my hand accidentally and neither of us pulled away right away. But there were also moments of confusion. I worried what it would mean if things didn't work out. We lived so close. Would it make the neighborhood awkward? Would I lose the easy comfort I had when I first met him? One rainy evening, he showed up drenched, holding an umbrella big enough for two. "Come walk with me," he said, almost pleading. I hesitated but followed. We walked in silence under the umbrella, the sound of raindrops filling the gaps. Finally, he turned to me and said, "I don't want to pressure you, but I can't keep pretending I just want to be your neighbor." That honesty hit me hard. I realized then that he wasn't simply being friendly. His actions, his gestures, his presence, all of it came from a deeper place. And whether I was ready or not, I had to decide how I felt about it. I wish I could say the decision was simple, but it wasn't. It took time, self-reflection, and honest conversations between us. What I learned, though, was that sometimes what seems like friendliness can grow into something unexpected, something complicated, and maybe even something worth taking a chance on. Because in the end, life is rarely simple. Friendships can blur into something else, feelings can surprise us, and neighbors can become more than just people living nearby. Ryan taught me that. And whether our story turns into love or remains a complicated memory, I'll always remember the day I thought he was just being friendly, until I realized it was so much more.